Hey guys, today we're going to go over just the basics of what the color wheel is and the different colors on there. This is part one of our color theory unit. Alright, so we've got color wheel. What exactly is color theory? Color theory is how colors work together. It creates a structure for using, mixing, and organizing colors. So why is this important to you? Well, simply because colors need to work together. They need to complement each other in order to help make things appear to be three-dimensional, and it also gives images that sense of unity. So when certain colors fit together better, we want to make sure that we use those colors and how they can work in our art pieces to make them better. So again, color theory is how those colors work together. There's certain things as complementary colors, there's color schemes, there's different types of colors such as primary, secondary, and tertiary. There's all different things that we need to consider when we are thinking about the colors that we use, right? So this last project that we did, we used different colors, and I asked you guys just to choose your favorite colors and whether or not those went together. You thought those went together, but now we're actually going to apply if those colors go together or not in these next couple projects. So, color theory. With that, on the color wheel, there are different types of colors. Hopefully you've heard this term before, primary colors. Primary colors are those colors that cannot be mixed at all. Okay, those are the three colors that you always get. So we get red, we get blue, and we get yellow. Okay, and then from there, those colors you can mix to create different colors. And those colors are called secondary colors. They are an equal mixture of two primary colors. So they're the ones that's standing out right here. And why is this important? Having an equal mixture keeps your colors consistent. If you have too little or too much of one of the primary colors, it will then dominate and the color you created will appear too light or too dark. So our secondary colors are green, orange, and violet, or purple as other people call it. Okay? So again, if you add too much of one of the primary colors, then you will then create a tertiary color or an intermediate color, which are those colors that are in between that we see here. When we are mixing, again, you want to make sure that it's even, but also when you are layering those colors to mix for the secondary, you always layer the lighter color first. So in this picture that we see here, two of them are correct in mixing, but one of them is not. I'll give you a second to decide which one is not the correct way to layer colors. If you chose violet, red plus blue is violet, you were wrong. Red is the lighter color to blue. You would mix red first and then add a little blue, will equal a portion, and you get violet. If you chose yellow and red, you were wrong as well. Yellow is the lighter color first, and then you would add red to create orange. If you thought the top one was wrong, you are correct. You would, of course, use yellow first and then add your blue to create green. This is mostly if you are going to be using two-dimensional mediums. So if you're painting, using colored pencils, markers, crayons, anything that layers colors to mix, that is what you should be following when you are mixing colors. All right, as I was just talking about before, tertiary colors are a mixture of primary and secondary colors. Why is this color important? It is extremely important to have tertiary colors in a drawing or a painting with full color because they help you make things look three-dimensional by finding a color that complements or works with your root color. Okay, so if we look at this painting on the left, our root color you would probably say is green, right? So this artist used yellow to then mix a mixture of yellow-green, which is a tertiary color, right? So if you have a green tree and then you want to use yellow to make it lighter, and you can use blue to make it darker, so they added blue in some of these darker areas. It is a more realistic way to make an object or a scene look real without actually using white or black, okay? So again, tertiary colors are those mixtures of primary and secondary. So these are not even mixtures either, so it's not more green then yellow, or sorry, it's not the same amount of green to yellow when you're mixing either. It could be that you need more yellow to create a yellow-green, if that makes sense. All right, so making tertiary colors. So on the color wheel, the primary and the secondary color point towards the tertiary color on the outside. Okay, so in this color wheel, that's what we are looking at here. So if we're looking at yellow and orange to create yellow-orange, it's pointing right at it right here is our yellow-orange. Okay, same with, for example, yellow and plus green, you get the color yellow-green, and more yellow would make it lighter, more green would make it darker. So we have this whole area here is our yellow greens. Ideally, you only would have 12 colors, so there's just a straight up yellow green, not different, I guess, tints of yellow green. So there are 3 tertiary colors per section. So, for example, there are 3 yellow greens, 3 green blues, etc. Again, that's for a 16 color wheel. We are only going to be focusing on a 12 color wheel. So the 6 tertiary colors are yellow green, blue green, violet blue, red violet, red orange, and yellow orange. All right, so again, for those that are using two-dimensional projects, your color mixing, please make sure you're paying attention. When you're mixing in layers, meaning that you add one color over the other, the easiest ways to then mix if you are going to use pastels or crayons or colored pencils or paints is to follow these 3 rules. First, to put your light color down, and then you mix the darker color into it. When you layer the dark over the light, you want to make sure that your dark colors aren't dominant. So that's why you always layer your light color first. Mix your darker color in slowly, little by little. This allows for you to get the correct mixture without adding more than what you want. Paint, it's a little bit easier to bring back the lighter color, but if you're using pastels or colored pencils or crayons, something that's a little bit more permanent, it's really hard to get back that light color. So make sure you're adding the darker color slowly, little by little. And the last rule is to be prepared to make adjustments. If you add too much of one color, you need to make sure that you are problem solving and adding more of the other to balance it out so you don't need to start all over. All right, this is what we are going to be working on is this 12 color wheel. Like I said, that was a 16 one before, but I have posted this for you to reference for when we actually create our color wheel this week, okay? Please make sure you are watching the color wheel history. It's super duper important to watch and understand where the color wheel actually came from and how it got to be where it is today. It's really cool. It's interesting also because I even learned a couple different things, and I'm sure you guys will learn some really cool things too. All right, I look forward to seeing your color wheels this next couple weeks, and don't forget to check back later this week.